And now,
Breaking news.
Ahoy, the news.
news
From the Weird Wire.
News from the Weird Wire here this morning. Adventure of Mittens, the high-flying cat. Have you pre-read this?
No.
I just don't want to upset cat lovers out there. What was supposed to be a 4-hour flight for an 8-year-old cat named Mittens turned into a full-on high-flying adventure. And a bit of a worse nightmare for the owner. I imagine. You see, Mittens and her owner, Margo Neas, were flying from Christchurch, New Zealand, to Melbourne, Australia. Well, that's not too far away. Just like they're right next to each other, right? This was on January 12th, according to the BBC. Margo was up front. Mittens was in the cargo hold with the luggage. I thought it got dangerously cold in there. Everything seemed fine as Margo arrived at her destination, but after waiting for 3 hours, still no cat. Yeah. Upon further investigation by Air New Zealand, it was discovered Mittens was still on the plane, which was now headed back to where they started. Fortunately, they alerted the warm-hearted pilot, who turned on the heat in the cargo hold, which can get quite cold. With 3 flights under her belt, Mittens was finally reunited with Margo and seemed to be just fine. Obviously, Margo got both a big apology and a refund from the airline. Apparently, a stowed wheelchair likely kept bag handlers from spotting Mittens. Meow. Well, there's cat lovers, there's dog lovers. Yesterday we realized there's monkey lovers.
A wheelchair in the way?
Right, so there was a wheelchair, probably leaned up against the side of the cargo hole. And then someone said, "Oh, we'll put a little kitty right in here."
Somebody need the wheelchair?
Not till the next flight. Or that was a good story they came up with real quick, how they could.
Why is there
miss
a
that.
wheelchair in the cargo bay of a plane?
Well, maybe Air New Zealand requires all airplanes over a certain amount of capacity have a standby wheelchair. That's funny. I wonder if, because you know what you're saying, right? You know how we end up putting things in the back of our vehicle or in the trunk?
Can you find them in July?
Yeah. Do you think they do that on the airplanes? Sounds like it, huh?
Evidently.
Got the wheelchair down there.
Well, who put Mittens behind the wheelchair in the first place?
Well, they thought, I'm sure just kind of, as there's, when you're packing and moving stuff in, you move stuff around, and then you always find a good little spot for that thing you had left over here on the side. They just slid kittens in there, the Mittens in there, and the next guy's like, well, there's probably nothing behind that wheelchair. It's been down here for years. We never moved that thing. And if that's the case, then when it all came down, that guy probably said, well, who moved the wheelchair in the first place? Been down there for years, got a flat tire and everything. I don't think.
Wheelchairs don't have air in their tires.
It's an old one like that. Well, good for Mittens. I bet that Margo was just upset about the whole thing.
And in typical cat fashion, doesn't care.
So, like, Air New Zealand doesn't have the thing where you can bring your pet on the... Oh, it has to be a therapy animal, right? For them to ride up.
Yes.
Gotcha. She's just regular Mittens, the kitty. I'm kind of fond of Mittens, right? Yeah. Well, Schultze, we're breaking another Guinness World Record.
Another dumb one, I'm assuming.
I was just gonna say, it seems like we've never had one like, well, there's a good reason. That's good that we have a world record for that. Like the world record for saving something or something. You know what I mean? Well, we got this one. This is a good one, though. Just certified British choir of 17 as the world's oldest with an average age of 94. The prime timers, as they're known, range in age from 87 to 99. That person that's 87 is like young. Dang. The singing seniors seem to be quite social since the choir is made up of members from 7 different retirement homes. Check out a snippet of their record-setting Christmas concert on YouTube.
I'm not going to do that.
You're going to be checking that out today?
No.
Now, this last story, are you wondering if we're going to read it?
I haven't looked at any of them for today.
Man gives himself a vasectomy on Instagram. This is when we might say, maybe we need to check into our social media. Like,
how about we ban Instagram while we're at it, too?
Well, we can't ban it. It's like, all right, hey. We can't do whatever. I know it's your freedom of speech. But
there are people, since you can't download TikTok right now, even though it's not banned, you can't download the version. There are people selling their phones for like 10 grand because it already has TikTok on it.
Oh.
That is what's wrong with this world. We don't need to sell phones for 10 grand just because it has TikTok. We certainly don't need to put a vasectomy, self-induced one, mind you, on Instagram.
But he is a plastic surgeon in Taiwan.
Don't care.
So he has some knowledge. I mean, he knows what he's doing. His name is Chen Wenong. He did it. He gave himself a vasectomy. He did it on camera and on Instagram. Who would watch that? Well, somebody watched
probably millions of people.
4 million times. The father of 3 did it as a gift to his wife. I'm really brave, he commented.
I'd choose a different word, but okay.
Right? The problem is, what does this lead into next?
I don't even want to think about that.
Right? So you must, is it anything you've ever checked into? Getting a vasectomy?
No.
Right? I bet most men haven't unless they're scheduled. Like, unless they know it's coming. Then you check into it. But I think
I'm not watching a guy do one on himself.
Well, I know, but I would imagine that you just can't go cutting up your parts.
Stop.
So you got to give yourself a painkiller, right? Or a numb the area.
Stop.
Ooh. Ouch. Well, but the good thing is, well, that we know this incident is isolated to Taiwan. But social media is everywhere.
Not on my phone.
What'll they do next, Schultzy? I can't believe it. Well, there you have it.
News of the completely stupid.
And brave.
Stupid.
Good morning.